Iman Binte Rakib, I think one way to learn is to watch other people's news reports, and you can see, listen to what they're saying. You can see how the script works out. You can see the types of shots that they're using, and then you will have an idea of how it's made. And then there's the whole technical side of it, which if you want to learn, then there's lots of things on the internet where you can look, different websites, things like that, where you can find out the technical side of stuff if you want to learn about the technical side of the stuff, how to use the camera and things like that. But in terms of how the news report writing and editing goes, you can see how an actual news report is, like maybe on Al Jazeera or BBC, and you can study what they're saying and how they're doing it, and that's the best way to learn. Hi, Ibrahim Rakib from Earth House International School. I think when I went there and I was trying to go into the hotel, I think I was very kind of in a state of excitement about it because I thought it was a fun thing to try. It was an interesting thing to try, and so I was really concentrating on that. I think I had a lot of adrenaline going through me. So in that sense, I don't think at that moment I really felt fear. I think in terms of nervousness, I always feel some sort of nervousness when I'm in front of camera. That time also, it was very early when I started doing TV news for the first time. So I think you can see from the way I talked after that video, the Lungi video, when I was talking in that video, I was talking very fast, and I think it was because I was nervous. I think after you do that many times, you get less and less nervous, but still you continue to be nervous always. Hi, Abdullah Ibrahim Mahi. I became a reporter at Al Jazeera after I was working in journalism for many years. I used to work at other news agencies before, and I did lots of works for lots of different types of people. When the person who covered Al Jazeera in Bangladesh left, he knew about my work, so he recommended me to some people, and I applied along with others to do this job, and they selected me. Before that, I had worked for about 6 or 7 years in journalism, and one of the reasons I got into journalism was because I was good in writing, and because I was good in English in school. I studied harder for English, I guess, than for a lot of other subjects by reading a lot of books outside of class as well. Hi Mirza Zaid, I'm really glad you like the Lungi video. I like it a lot too. It's one of my favorite ones that I did. About your question, a lot of my videos get rejected all the time. When I say, hey, here's an idea I have, sometimes they say no, we don't even want to do that idea. Sometimes I say, here's an idea I have, we do the video, and then they say, oh, actually, we don't even like it still. So always, all the time, there's lots of stuff that's getting rejected. Rejection is a normal part of working. Hi, Tasneem Bint Said. I don't memorize my news report as in the voiceover that I say. I write that down and then I have it written either on my phone or on my laptop open or on a piece of paper, and I look at it and I read the voiceover. The thing that I say on camera when I'm on the TV, the part where you see me on the TV saying something, I memorize that part. That's usually about 2 or 3 lines. About managing my nervousness, I think it's just you get very nervous when you do it for the first few times, and you keep doing it and you get less and less nervous. But I think everyone, even the people I've talked to who've done this for 20 years, 30 years, tell me they still get nervous every time. So that's normal. Everyone feels nervous about these things. Hi, Bhuya Ashif. I think in terms of overcoming your shyness, the thing is to remember that everyone always feels a little bit shy. Other people also feel that way. Just kind of look at the way other people are, and think about how you're feeling, and think about how they must be feeling as well. Think about that everyone feels shy when they're in situations like this. So don't worry too much about that feeling. It's normal to feel that way. You just keep doing it and you keep trying it and you get more comfortable over time. It's very, very normal to feel shy. You just have to be more comfortable with the idea of being shy and feeling that way and being in different situations. So when you do the news report, just think that it's normal, and don't think that, oh, just because I'm feeling so shy, that means I can't handle it. What you're doing is normal, and the way you're feeling is normal. So that if you keep that in mind, it makes it a little bit easier to just keep doing it again and again until you get better and more natural. Because not that to get better and more natural, that always just takes some time. Hey, Sheikh Samir Uddin. The first channel I worked for is Al Jazeera in terms of TV channels, but I've worked for other news organizations before. I had written for other people before. I used to work for the Bangkok Post, and before that, I worked for in India as well. So I worked for different people. I did not study journalism. I studied philosophy. I think you can become a journalist if you can write or tell a story. Then you can become a journalist, even if you didn't study journalism. In fact, if you study other things, then maybe it might be something that you are able to have some expertise on that you can then bring to your journalism. You know, if you know South Asian studies really well, South Asian history really well, or if you know economics really well, then when you do your journalism, you can have this expert knowledge of a subject and do better journalism. So that's one way of thinking. But also in journalism school, there's a lot of like types of skills of journalism that you can learn in a school environment, and that's also very useful. So you can decide about whether you want to do something like that as well. You can also just learn it on the job, but these are just different ways of doing it. Hi, Tashfin Shafi. I've never personally been threatened because of my work as a journalist. In a lot of cases, it is actually very dangerous to be a journalist, but that's usually for very local journalists. Like I work for an international news channel. Al Jazeera is based in Qatar, and they have people all over the world, and we cover all over the world, and our audience is international. But then you have lots of like small newspapers, you know, papers in like villages in Bangladesh, in Upojalas in Bangladesh. All of these places often have their own local paper and local journalists, and there it can be very dangerous because they are not protected as much by international attention. A lot of these people get killed all over the world, in Africa, in South America, in Philippines is a very dangerous place to be a journalist. A lot of journalists get killed in Philippines all the time, and these are mainly local journalists, you know, who are finding out very interesting information about the towns around them and the people who are doing illegal things in the towns around them, or abusing power in the towns around them or the villages around them, and they don't have the same protection as someone like me does. Having said that, I did almost die once when I was working on a story when we had a cocktail bomb thrown at us during one of the 2015 violence. We were doing a story in Bogora, and we had a cocktail bomb thrown at our car, and luckily our window was almost up, so the bomb hit the very top of the window and then fell on the road and burst into flames, and we got soaked in the oil, but we didn't get set on fire, luckily. Hey, Zamaina Tasnim Haq. I also actually don't really like watching the news that much, especially now that I work in it, because it's my work. I don't want to be watching my work in my free time. I was very nervous about being a journalist and like being on camera, but it was a job that I got, and you know, it was a good job, and so you know, you feel nervous, but you deal with it because it's good work, and I'm very grateful for that. Hi, Muinuddin Sayam. I first became a journalist with Al Jazeera after the previous Al Jazeera Bangladesh correspondent, when he was leaving, he suggested that they contact me. He told his boss they should contact me. We had known each other from before, so he knew about my work from before. I was working as a journalist then at the Bangkok Post and also writing for other people. So that's how I became a journalist. And when I first started, my main challenges was I felt that my voiceover was very bad. It was very unnatural. So I worked on that a lot, but not. I think I still have lots of problems with my voiceover. But now I'm more relaxed about it. I don't mind as much when I think there are problems. But my first voiceover that I did 25 takes for the first story that I did. So that was the thing that I had the biggest problem with.